So I'm starting with 6 cups of all-purpose flour right here, and I'm making layered large biscuits for sandwiches. I'm out of English muffins, so I'm going to do these as a freezer meal. They're really good. This is one of Robert's favorites. When he was here, he loved these. He would take them every day for breakfast when I had them made. So, and Bobby loves them too. So anyway, I'm gonna now add 3 teaspoons of salt. I forgot my measuring cup for my liquid too. 3 teaspoons of salt. And I'm gonna put it kind of around where it's in my, and in 1, 2, and 3. So it kind of can be mixed in quicker. I've made me a well, and this time I'm using my mat, y'all. I'm hoping I do a better job than I did last time, and I moved my burner. All right, so I next have 3 tablespoons of sugar. These are a delicious, delicious biscuit. I hope you'll watch the video and get the recipe. So 3 tablespoons of sugar, and I'm just gonna mix that around. Then I need 6 heaping teaspoons of baking powder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then what I'm going to do after I get these in, I'm going to mix this a little bit and recreate my well for all the other stuff. So I'm just going to mix this together. I think that's all my dry. Mix this together. Bring it into a heap. I kind of sifted this. I shook it so it's lighter, the flour. Yeah, I shook it and then picked it up so it wasn't heavy in my cup. So hopefully that helps too. Because you can see how light it is and airy. All right, I'm gonna make a mess, y'all. This mat is kind of bigger than my marble table, but I work with it because I love this for doing breads and stuff. Breads are a little harder because when I knead it wants to pick up, so I'm hoping it won't do it with my biscuits. All right, so we kind of mixed all that in. We're gonna make a well. Whoops, I need some flour down there a little bit and shore it up really good so I don't get a avalanche or a whatever that was last time when I made dinner rolls. All right, so there's that. I have in here 6 cups of all-purpose flour, lightly packed, 3 teaspoons of salt, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 6 heaping teaspoons of baking powder, and now I'm going to be adding my butter, which you saw me. That was what I was shredding. I put it back in my freezer so it'd be cold, and then we're adding 3/4 times 3. So 3/4 times 3 of milk. Let me measure that out and I'll be right back, y'all. All right, so my milk comes out to just above 2 cups. And this says mix all dry ingredients. Then you're going to incorporate your butter. I started with a frozen stick of butter to shred it. It was easier, y'all. If you do this, do a very, very frozen stick of butter. Then put it right back in the freezer. The reason you do this is so that it helps your biscuits create layers. If you use melted butter, you get goo. But if you use frozen butter, and if you can freeze your flour, do that too. This is one of the places where frozen butter works. All right, so Now we're going to incorporate, I got my recipe here. We're going to incorporate the butter into the flour. Might have to get me a scraper. And you're looking for it to create peas in your flour. So you're going to start mixing that in and breaking it, or crushing it, or squeezing it into your flour. Probably good to have gloves off so you have your warmth of your hands to help a little to do this. Just takes a few minutes. But these are going to be such you're going to love these. If you make them, you're going to love them. They're so beautiful. And you top them with butter, melted butter. And they are great. Oh, I got to find my cutter. You know what I use for a cutter? I'll show you in just a minute. I got to go find it. I had it packed up for a little bit, so I got to find it. Hopefully I still have it. Okay, you can you see in the texture how it's changing from the just fluffy flour, and it's getting like a lumpy look to it? That's what you want. And you want to work this butter in without melting it. So you just start. Honestly, I feel like it needs more butter. And I'm seeing if I can find a way to just do it quickly without making too much of a mess, y'all. It needs more fat. I'll use all of it because it's got flour on it now. So that makes 2 sticks. This is a newer bag of flour that I've had put up that I just opened. Well, it's been in a canister over there. So, all right. Let's see how that does. I think it needed the extra fat, y'all. I will create a mess out here I'll have to clean, but it's all right. So I started with 18 tablespoons and I added another, it looks like 4. I'm going to go squeeze that a little bit to get that flour and butter together. Because you want to start getting a crumb like it holds, like that. That lets you know you got enough fat in there. I got Daisy at my feet. Daisy, don't you eat raw flour, honey. Not that she knows any better. I can feel the butter in there, definitely. All right, let's give myself a well. And now I'm just working that milk in. And it's gonna be a lot, y'all. It's gonna make a mess. So I'm gonna move my cookbook, and it's almost 2 cups of milk. Now this is where you're not, when you get to this point, you're not working this dough a lot, okay? This is definitely light, daft hands. At this point, it don't matter. You're not making anything liquidy. But once you add your milk mixture, you're going to want to use daft hands and bring it together carefully. And then we're going to just layer it. And it's going to go, this is a double portion, by the way. This is going to make bigger biscuits. That's what I'm looking for. Before I add the milk, I need to find my cutter, because this will all need to be in place so that I can work and make sure I'm good to go. So let me go find my, I'm gonna have to take these gloves off probably. Let me, I also forgot to turn the light on for you. Hopefully that helps a little. And then I got me a scraper so I can bring all of that together, because I'm probably gonna need all that dough, flour. All right, so this is not the most largest can, but it's a tuna can. And I left the bottom of it because it's really hard to get off. I tried. But when I did, was I washed it really good. I don't put it in a dishwasher, I hand wash it. But I pinched down the part where it disconnects when you open the tuna can, so it's nice and smooth in here, and it won't cut you. But this makes the perfect sandwich biscuit. And it's the medium-sized can. Or smaller, I don't know. But that's what I use. I don't know how many ounces it is, y'all. All right, so now that when we start this part, we are going to be very daft with, meaning very careful. We're gonna do light movements with, I'm closing everything up, y'all, with the flour. I'll show you. Let me double check. I wanna make sure everything's good on the camera and you can see what I'm doing. I think y'all can. All right, so I got my milk, and I'm going to do a little at a time. I'm going to start working it in. Pull from your thing and just start working it in. Light hands, y'all. Light hands. Daft. Till you get all the milk, and then you're going to work it really lightly still. And hopefully I won't need any more milk. I did need more water, so you never know. Daisy, no. Just trying to eat the raw flour, y'all. All right, let me add a little more milk. The term daft comes from like just light movements like this. You're doing a light put together, okay? In cooking, that's what it means. That's what how I always heard it, daft hands. All right, so now I'm gonna let that flour kind of absorb the milk. And then we'll move it in. And we're just working it ever so gently. It might take a minute to see if we need more, but I don't want to overdo it, y'all. So it's just movement, slow. Like, see, I'm just moving the dough. I'm not doing anything right now to pat it together. I'm just doing it so all of it kind of stays loose so that you don't create a tough biscuit. Not yet. We don't want to work that way. We're just, I might have to add a little bit more milk, y'all. Looks like, because I added, maybe my flour was off. It just seems like. All right, let me grab a little bit more milk. because this is supposed to be a wetter dough. Okay, as like almost a half a cup more, but you'll have to play it by ear like I am, because it might depend on weather. It snowed here yesterday, which I don't know, seems like that would be a damper weather, but it don't feel like it is when it comes to the biscuits. Okay, I'll add the rest of it, and we're going to start folding it in. Make sure we can incorporate. Might be the weirdest way you see biscuits done. But take my word for it, they are delicious. I've made lots of times now. It's usually fail-proof. So I'm hoping it is today, because I want to use it. I have a plan for these. I'm going to make frozen, not biscuit alone, but breakfast biscuits. So, okay, so you see how that came together pretty good. We got a... Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start layering this. And that is fun too. It's just very creative. Robert found this recipe for me, so I don't know who to give the kudos to for it. But they did a good job, and this is an awesome recipe. But I really honestly don't know where it came from. If you do and you've seen it before, let me know. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this in half. And we're going to place this on top of this. And we're going to press it down. We're just pressing, y'all. Okay, and then we're going to take it, I'm going to cut it in half this way. You can do this 4 or 5 times, or however many you like. I do it a few, especially because it's feeling sticky right now. I want to work that dough together. And so I'm just pressing it down. We're not mixing it, we're pressing. It's been a hot minute since I've made these, but boy are they good, and I love them with, oh, you can make them with some warm, melted butter, just softened butter on them, and then some jam of your favorite type, like strawberry or apricot or whatever you like, or apple butter. Again, right on top, you're cutting it in half, and let me get this picked up. And I'm putting that right on there. This makes a lot of biscuits. Well, big biscuits. It can make a bunch of little ones too. So it's up to you how you make them. You're pressing it back down in again. And I kind of try to keep it uniformed as I'm pressing it in place, so that I can, and then we're doing it one more time. And I'm going to bring and flip this one over on it. I'll need some extra flour in just a minute to keep them from sticking to my mat. Let's go one more layer. You do roll these out. So if you want, at this point, like you could take that when you've got it. I could do this. I'm going to do another layer right here. And then I'm going to set this aside. It may stick, but that's okay. I'll do it here too. And then we're going to do a press down. Get some flour on these. On my mat. I should have pulled some out now. This dough does go back together, so just kind of tuck it under itself and keep going. Okay, I'm gonna check these for doneness and make sure that they're not doughy. They're still doughy. They need to go back in. All right, y'all, they are out of the oven. I had to turn the oven up. It felt like they weren't cooking on the inside, but it did brown them a little bit more than I wanted, but they're still beautiful. So let's get some butter on them. We're gonna let them sit for a few minutes, and they're gonna be yummy. Okay, in this bowl I have some salted, softened butter, and I'm gonna add just a little dab of honey and make honey butter. All right, y'all, they're still very warm out of the oven, but I'm very hungry and I want to try one. So I've got my honey butter that I made. And make sure you can see everything. And I'm going to just pull one out for my breakfast. And we'll see what they look like, y'all. Can you see? See if we can. It is steaming hot, y'all. Look at that. Nice and golden. Nice and plump. And we're going to take a knife and just spread it open so that I don't want to cut it. And then I'll show you what it looks like underneath. It's very hot. If you let them cool a little bit, they won't be as gummy because they need to get some of that steam out of them. So I'm just going to try a part of one and hope it's still very good. So I have my butter with honey. And that's breakfast, y'all. Just did this side. I'll tell you what it tastes like, okay? These are a delicious breakfast sandwich. These came apart a little bit in the layering, but that's okay. But can you see the layers in there? Looks beautiful. Oh, yeah. They're so fluffy and light. Not gummy. I'm going to try this little crumb. Can you see the layers? They are delectable. All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video. God bless. And I'll see you on the next one.